Hulk smash. In those two words, you've basically got everything you need to know about the Incredible Hulk. Sure, there's more to him, but at the same time, that's basically it. At his core, he's a very simple character. A big green monster who destroys things because he's very angry. The added wrinkle is Bruce Banner, the mild-mannered scientist who keeps the Hulk at bay, except when he gets mad. These are the things everybody knows about the Hulk, but such a simple, perfect premise couldn't have existed unchanged for almost 50 years. In that time, Marvel Comics have tried all sorts of different things with Bruce Banner. Some stuck, most of them didn't. Nowadays, the Hulk is best known as Mark Ruffalo, who plays Bruce Banner in the MCU. He's pretty much the iconic Hulk. Angry, monstrous, but a nice bumbling scientist in his regular guise. At least that's how Disney and Marvel want you to think of the Hulk. In truth, that's not even half the story of the Jolly Green Giant. He's changed a lot since his 1961 debut, through to his modern day appearances in Avengers Endgame and, of course, Immortal Hulk. I'm Will for What Culture, and here are 8 things Marvel wants you to forget about the Hulk. 8. He was originally grey. It is one of those well-known bits of retro comics trivia that the Jolly Green Giant used to be grey. Stan Lee didn't want Bruce Banner's skin tone to belong to any identifiable ethnic group when he hulked out, which meant that at first Jack Kirby settled on making the character grey. Unfortunately, the cheap printing presses Marvel used back then mostly rendered the Hulk as brown, purple, or some other totally inappropriate shade, hence the change to make him green. Since then, Marvel has never quite decided on whether they just want to forget that ever happened or include the grey skin as part of the character's biography. On occasion, he has reverted back to grey skin, notably during a period when Banner regained control of the Hulk's brain, so he was a genius, softly spoken monster. Then again, most reprints of those early Hulk issues have been changed so that he was green from the start, which seems to be the angle Marvel is trying very hard to push. 7. His original series was a bomb. The Incredible Hulk would eventually become one of Marvel's best-known characters, bringing them one of their earliest live-action successes and becoming one of the founding members of the Avengers. At first, though, he bombed. The Hulk was a complete failure. The X-Men took a while to get off the ground, but at least they reached some 50 issues before going into reprints. Meanwhile, Marvel abandoned the Hulk idea after just 6 installments. The Incredible Hulk title was cancelled, and Banner was shunted over to guest appearances in the likes of the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Things eventually picked up, and a year and a half after his own book was cancelled, the Hulk became one of the starring characters in the anthology series Tales to Astonish, alongside Thor. From there, he went from strength to strength. At first, though, it is true, he was an utter failure. 6. Stan Lee got his name wrong a lot. Stan Lee was one of the most prolific creators in superhero comic history, and remains a totemic figure to Marvel Comics and the MCU. But he's also a man who made a lot of mistakes in his time. One of his most common was just plain forgetting the name of characters, and without any editors to pick up on his crummy memory, many early Marvel books are littered with these errors. The most common was his referring to Bruce Banner as Bob Banner. Ironic, since he chose the alliterative name so he could better remember it. Thankfully, Lee's genius didn't just include his ability to cook up dozens of comic superheroes, he covered his tracks. After readers picked up on the recurring error, he revealed that the full name of the Hulk's alter ego was Robert Bruce Banner. Genius. Well, stupid, but genius. 5. His more ridiculous powers. The Incredible Hulk's core abilities are pretty well summarized in his catchphrase. He's the Hulk, he smashes. He has insane strength and is basically indestructible. He's mortal, but the more angry he gets, the more powerful he gets, so at a certain point, he's sort of impossible to match physically. It's not like he needs many more superpowers than that, but he does have them, not that they're referred to much anymore. He apparently has a built-in homing beacon, which means he can find New Mexico, the place of the Hulk's birth, from anywhere in the world. He can also resist telepathic control and can punch between the barriers of space and time, which you'd think would come up more often. 4. How much they owe to the 70s TV show. Marvel and Disney hate to share credit, but it is the truth that the Incredible Hulk's cultural notoriety can mainly be put down to the 70s TV show he starred in. One of the earliest live-action Marvel Comics adaptations, riffing on the then popular Fugitive series, it followed a Dr. David Banner who is always moving from town to town, inevitably hulking out for some reason and drawing attention to himself. It's really cheesy and embarrassingly low budget, but Marvel owe a lot to the Incredible Hulk series. Not only only did it make the character much more well-known beyond the comics fans, but it also introduced a lot of concepts that then made it over to the comics. Most popular among them is the infamous Bruce Banner line, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." Even the idea that anger is the main thing that brings about the Hulk was from the TV show, but I guarantee you will not see Marvel admitting it. 3. The Hulk's many, many children. Bruce Banner is the ultimate deadbeat dad. The Hulk has fathered like half a dozen kids, and they're all scattered across the universe with several different mothers. Exiled to an alien planet because of his destructive tendencies, the Hulk hooked up with an alien, birthing with her 2 extraterrestrial kids, Scar and Hero Carla, a couple of mini Hulks who boast similar skin tones, strength, and silly names to their dear old pa. Not that you'll actually see Bruce Banner spending much time with his progeny these days, same for the ill-fated Lyra, his daughter created by supervillain Thundra by blending her DNA with the Hulk's. Admittedly, that one isn't really on Banner though. Then there's Old Man Logan, the dystopian future where there's tons of inbred Hulk kids. And if you fall any further down that rabbit hole, you'll start thinking about how the Hulk actually mates with people, and it's just not worth it. 2. The 3 previous failed Hulks. Stan Lee wasn't a wasteful man. Many of the early superheroes he created for Marvel reused names he had given to characters during the publisher's previous penchant for horror comics, with The Thing and Groot both appearing in Marvel Comics pre-60s boom. Meanwhile, the Hulk was a name shared by 3 separate failed attempts of Lee's to create a new iconic monster that would live on through pop culture. The first was a huge suit of robot armor, another a huge orange slimy monster. Then there was Zenmu the Living Hulk, a huge furry alien monster first appearing in the 1960s Journey to Mystery 62. He actually became a Marvel Universe mainstay, but is now referred to as Zenmu the Titan, with no Hulk connection. That's a lot of Hulks, but even if Bruce Banner wasn't the first, he certainly is the best. 1. Every time he tried to kill himself. Startling Stories Banner is one of the most harrowing, disturbing, and brilliant Incredible Hulk stories you'll ever read. Except you probably never will, since the collected edition is long out of print and you can't get it as a digital back issue. The reason Marvel are trying to keep a lid on this is because Bruce Banner keeps trying to kill himself in the comic, like multiple times. The out-of-continuity story features a terminally depressed Bruce Banner, who repeatedly tries to end his life thanks to the crippling guilt from a series of Hulk rampages, which leave hundreds dead and even more injured. But the Hulk won't let him. There's some fighting with Doc Samson, but for the most part, it's an extremely non-traditional story that is mainly just incredibly sad. It profiles the psychological destruction the Hulk wreaks alongside the literal mess. It makes sense Bruce Banner would be a little downbeat over his whole situation, he is in the films, but this took it to a whole new, extreme level. And seeing as the character is so widely loved and appreciated by fans of all ages, it's very unlikely Marvel will ever reference such a dark idea for the character ever again. And there you have it folks, 8 things Marvel wants you to forget about the Hulk. Feel free to drop this video a like if you enjoyed it, and drop me a follow on Twitter at @USlyDogU. I'm Will for What Culture, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.
Look, my son, look at the marvel that I have created. Comics. They called me a fool for trying to put a dead meme onto a t-shirt. A damn bold fool! A damn bold fool with an ass that won't quit. It got quite personal towards the end there. But look who's laughing now! Quiet! Quiet, my son, my ugly son, for my other creation rises. Look at the quality fabric, hand-stitched by blind orphans. The perfect letter spacing calculated so meticulously that Rich Hudson had an erection for months about it. And a colouring so deep that I had to buy the dye off the dark web. Oh, for God's sake, Josh!
Sorry.
Marvel. Oh no, the beast has grown angry, angered by our drab fashion choices. I am such a fool to think that it wouldn't try to infect us with its perfect design. Quick, we must do something to appease the beast. Why don't we buy one from shop.whatculture.com? Look, it's already got Scott Nash.
Oh no!
But where can I buy one? Are you kidding me? This is why I don't give you any extra lines. But also at shop.whatculture.com. Quick, let's go and buy one right now. Let's go buy one right now. Right now. Oh, don't you try hard now. You've already lost your bit. Oscar's in the f***ing bin. Ah, there we go. Doesn't that look better? I feel so virile and alive, and it's also fixed your hump. That's actually pretty good. Now, do yourself a favour and act like your mum and spread the love, aka her legs, and buy yourself one of these glorious dead memes on a t-shirt, courtesy of this handsome chap right here. You're very, very welcome.
Cut!
Jesus Christ, mine is so
It's
itchy.
all wet. What?
It stinks.
I pissed on yours.
The worst font ever. I want to die.